Good morning, everyone. So we're going to be doing a lot of things that are opening up the front body today. So that involves a lot of back bends, but we'll ease into it. And as always, if you need to back out of any postures, anything feels uncomfortable to the point of pain, please, back out of it. But we'll gently ease into strengthening the back and then opening up all the different parts of the front body as well to allow that to happen. So you're going to need a blanket. You're going to need two pillows, something that emulates a strap. So if you have a strap, like anything that ties anything together, it could be anything at all, or you could use a towel. We're essentially going to use it to, we're going to hold on to it like a towel like this, and do some things with the arms behind the back and then with the quad as well. So something with a strap, a blanket, a towel perhaps if you don't have a strap, and then something that emulates two yoga blocks. So that could be books, two thick, high books, or I have like a little foam roller right there. It could be that as well. So, and we're going to get started seated on our knees in hero's pose. So I would recommend grabbing a pillow as well for this, and placing it underneath, in between your thighs, underneath your sacrum, so that you're sitting on a little bit higher on something, because we're going to be here for a few minutes just practicing on our breathing. So go ahead and set up whatever prop that you have. And the idea to start here is that this posture actually helps open up the quads as well. So that we're trying to open the whole front body, to improve all, like, we're slouching over at our computers all day or whatever we're doing. We tend to have this slouching posture. So this class is going to help counteract that by trying to create more space and openness in the front side of the body. So that includes the shoulders, the collarbones, the chest, the abdomen here, especially right here, the hip flexors, and then the quads as well. So, so go ahead and place your hands onto your thighs and then close your eyes. And let's take a deep breath through the nose together. And a deep exhale out the mouth. Let's do that a few more times. Big inhale through the nose. And big exhale out the mouth. One more breath in through the nose, the biggest one yet. And exhale out the mouth. And just start to breathe deeply through the nose, seeing how long you can extend the breath in and out to match the lengths of the inhales to the exhales. And then see if you can sit up a little taller, growing from the roots of your tailbone and your feet all the way up to the crown of your head. See how long you can make the spine. And if you find yourself dipping in the low back, take the tailbone down towards your heels and pull your low belly in. Soften up the shoulders. Take your shoulder blades down towards your heels. And see how tall you can grow. Continuing to breathe deeply in and out through the nose. Maybe challenge yourself to count on each inhale up to 10. So you can drag out the breath as long as possible. And then with each exhale, you count down 10. So this is an opportunity to explore the depths of your breath. And with each inhale, you're expanding through the belly and the rib cage. So you're creating space in the abdomen, you're creating space in the ribs and the chest. And we want to send that belly, we want to find that belly in our, or the breath in our belly, excuse me. So rather than breathing how we normally do, where our shoulders and our chest sort of rises and falls, we want to send the breath down into our belly, expanding and opening the belly with each inhale, and then contracting it and pushing it out with each exhale. Or sorry, pushing the breath out, not pushing the belly out. And then maybe taking this time to set some sort of intention for this morning's class, whether it be a physical intention of improving your posture or creating a little bit more flexibility and mobility in the body. Or maybe it's something more mental and emotional. Maybe you're holding on to something you want to let go of or move through or process, something that's been bothering you lately. Maybe whatever immediately comes to mind if you're thinking of all that, let that be your source of meditation for this class. So taking time throughout the class to notice whatever thoughts are coming in and out of your head about whatever that intention is, and just making mental notes of those thoughts, making, noticing them and remembering them, but letting them go and not having attachment to those sort of emotions. And that's something that we want to practice in our everyday life, is non-attachment to things that come up, the emotions that come up. We can appreciate them and observe them and respect them, but just as quickly as we do that, we can let them go. Take one more deep breath in this pose. And exhale out. Open up the eyes gently. And we're going to start to come up onto our knees. Remove whatever prop that you have out of the way. And we're going to come into tabletop position. So tabletop is stacking our shoulders directly over our wrists and our hips directly over our knees. Spread your fingers as wide as they can go, and then just start to shift forward and back on your wrists. So we're just doing a gentle warm-up of the hands and of the wrists. You may feel that these are particularly tight in the morning. And we're breathing through the nose here. Where would we be in yoga without a breath, right? So there is no yoga without breath to movement. So inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And then start to walk your knees back a little bit farther, and then walk your hands out in front of the mat as far as you can go, and then walk your knees back even farther. We're going to come into puppy pose. So puppy pose is when you sink your chest all the way down towards the ground, but try to keep your hips right above your knees. And then we're trying to get our armpits all the way towards the mat. And then you can just rest your forehead on the mat. And basically, the deeper that you can go in this, the more you slide your hands forward and sink your armpits all the way down. But the goal is to try to keep the hips right over the knees. And you're sinking your chest and your armpits all the way down. Your biceps are spinning up towards the ceiling, and your triceps are spinning down towards the mat. Inhale, breath, and exhale out. Inhale through the nose, and exhale. Slowly start to rise back up to that tabletop position. And then this time we're going to straighten our legs and slide our hips all the way down towards the mat, and then walk onto your forearms. We're coming into Sphinx pose. In Sphinx pose, we want our elbows right in line with our shoulders, so our arms are at a 90-degree angle. We want to press the tops of our feet into the mat, lift the knees so that the quads are engaged, press the pubic bone into the ground, and take the tailbone down towards your heels. And then using this, your hands and your arms, drag your palms and your forearms towards your ribs so that you can pull your chest through your shoulders. And then take your shoulder blades together down your back, and then just look straight forward. Roll the pinky side edge of your feet down towards the floor. And then again, we're dragging our palms, sort of energetically dragging our palms and our forearms back towards our ribs so that we can pull the chest forward. So you can inhale breath here. And then exhale, we're coming back into tabletop pose. And we're gonna move through a few cat-cows. So on your inhale breath, we're gonna drop the belly low, lift the chin, lift the chest, pull the chest through the shoulders, and take your tailbone up towards the ceiling. On the exhale breath, we're puffing up the upper back, curling our tailbone down towards the earth, creating a curvature in the spine, pressing firmly into the knuckle mounds of the hands so that we can puff up our upper back and then take your chin into your chest. On the inhale breath, drop your belly low, pull your chest through your shoulders, look up, and then exhale, round and curl. Inhale, cow pose, drop the belly, lift the chin, lift the chest, and exhale, round and curl. Go ahead and move through a few more of these in your own time with your own breath, adding any extra movements that you'd like to make that feels good this morning. Sometimes I like to shift my hips side to side, but taking care to connect that breath to each movement. Each inhale, you move, and then each exhale. Inhaling up, and then exhaling in any other position that you want to make. A few more rounds of this with your own breath. Really warming up the spine, the back body, the front body. And then return to a neutral pelvis, or a neutral spine. So a flat spine. We're going to take the soles of, our toes together and our knees wider than our hips. So that could be as wide as the mat, and then sink back onto your heels. We're going to find child's pose. However, I want you to grab the props that you have that are like yoga blocks, and place them in front of your mat, or place them right at the top of your mat. And then we're going to place our hands onto the blocks. And same with child's pose, we're just shifting our arms forward so that we can drop our forehead. If your forehead does not reach the mat, take a pillow and place it on a pillow. So you may need three props here. So we're in this child's pose with our hands on our shoulders. Deep breaths in and out through the nose here. So raising the ground using those props, what that allows us to do is continue to open the shoulder space and create more space in that armpit region, in the back body, in the front body. A few more deep breaths here. Maybe you roll your forehead side to side across the mat or whatever prop that you're placed on. Take one more breath here. And then exhale, slowly start to rise back up to tabletop. And then we're going to try that puppy pose one more time and see the difference that that we feel since the first time we did it. So slide your knees back and then walk your hands forward and sink your chest and your armpits down. Take a deep breath through the nose and out. Inhale through the nose and out. And then we're going to come into that Sphinx pose again. So this time we're just shifting forward onto our forearms, sliding our hips down, and then coming into Sphinx pose. So again, press the pubic bone into the mat, press the tops of the feet into the mat, lift the kneecaps using the strength of your quads, energetically drag your palms and your forearms towards your rib cage, and pull your chest through. Inhale through the nose, and breathe out. 2 more breaths. Inhale through the nose, and breathe out. Last breath, inhale. And exhale, come back into tabletop position. And then tuck your back toes under. Walk your hands a little bit further out to the front of your mat. And then we're going to press back into downward facing dog. So this is the first one of the day. Bend one knee at a time, pedal the dog out. And then really spread those fingers as wide as you possibly can. Press firmly into the knuckle mounds of your hands so you can get a little bit lighter in the wrist. Roll your biceps up towards the ceiling, and then roll your triceps down towards the mat. Take your hips high to the sky, pull the low belly in, draw the ribs together. Don't let the rib cage flare out in this posture. So you don't want to really, your ears are in line with your biceps, yes, but you don't want to sink your chest through so much that you're arching in the back and you're letting your rib cage fall through. So we want to find a strong, tight core by pulling in the low belly and pulling the ribs together. So we're continuing to find movement here, bending one knee at a time to open up the calves. Maybe you come up onto your tippy toes, stretch out the toes, and then come back down. And then go ahead and find a little bit of stillness here. So settle into this posture. You're just checking in with your feet. They should be hips width distance apart, and your heels should be working down towards the mat. They probably may not reach the mat, but that's okay. And we want a soft micro bend in the knees, so don't lock up the knees. We want a soft bend there, and as long of the spine as we can make. And the more that you press into your palms and like press out of them and lift, like using the strength of your, or using like that pressure into your palms, you can sort of feel your spine lengthen and your hips rise higher into the sky. So right now, okay, so here's an example. Like I'm sort of sinking into my arms here. When I press out of my palms, you can see that I got a little, just like a micro bit longer, and my hips got a little bit higher. So take one more inhale breath here. And then as you exhale, start to walk your feet towards the front of the mat. And we're coming into this first forward fold. So take your legs wide, maybe even wider than them, almost as wide as the mat this time. And then just have a soft bend into the knees. And then just start to curl forward. And I want you to bend as much in the knees as you can so that your ribs rest onto your thighs. And then grab opposite elbows. So this may be a little bit tough in the beginning. I always find that a fold first thing in the morning is a lot of pressure on my neck and on my upper back. So I have to take really deep breaths into this pose. And first thing in the morning, especially my hamstrings. You know, the hamstrings feel like they just snap right back with any progress that you make with them. So deep breaths. Maybe you breathe out through the mouth here. Inhale through the nose, and out the mouth. Inhale through the nose, and out.
Maybe sway side to side, shaking the head yes and no, and side to side. Just letting the head and the neck hang super heavy. And then start to shift the weight onto the toes and see if you can get the hips right over the ankles. A few more deep breaths here. And then we're going to bend the knees even further, release the elbows, and start to roll all the way up to standing. Press into the feet. The head comes up last. Shrug the shoulders up into your ears, and then down your back. And then we're going to set up here. So find all four corners of your feet. Maybe lift your toes off of the ground and then roll them down to find that sort of the gripping sensation of the mat. Find a little bit of stability there. Have a soft bend in the knee, and then lift the quad, lift your kneecaps so that your quads are engaged. Take your tailbone down towards your heels. Pull your low belly in. Draw your ribs together, and then your arms are at your sides with your palms facing forward. And then your shoulder blades are falling down your back. Take an inhale here, and exhale out. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Your biceps are next to your ear. And then fold all the way forward down to the ground. Exhale. On your inhale breath, just lift up halfway, placing the palms on your shins. And we're trying to find a long, flat spine in this pose. So like somebody has a string attached to the crown of your head and reaching forward. And then exhale, we're folding again. So all the way down, the knees are bent. On the inhale, we come up all the way to standing. Arms come up overhead. Biceps are by the ears. And then exhale, hands come through center in prayer to the front of your heart. And we're doing that again. Inhale, reach up all the way to the ceiling. Biceps are by the ears. And then exhale, we're folding all the way down to forward fold. On the inhale breath, we come up into that halfway lift. And then exhale, we fold again. Inhale, rise all the way back up to standing. The arms come up overhead. And then exhale, hands come through center in prayer in front of your heart. Inhale again, arms up to the ceiling. And then exhale all the way down to fold. Inhale, come up halfway. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way back up to standing. The arms come up overhead. And then hands come through center in prayer in front of you. Moving on to sun salutation A. Arms come up overhead on the inhale breath. And then on the exhale, we fold. On the inhale, we come up halfway. And then on the exhale, we plant our hands on the mat and we're stepping back into high plank. You can stay in high plank or you can lower the knees if this is too much for you. In high plank, we shift our shoulders forward past our fingertips, come up onto the toes, and then we start to lower, keeping our elbows pinned to our sides, either all the way down on our mat or just halfway if you want to go for the chaturanga push-up. Untap the back toes, and then staying light into the palms. And same concept here with Sphinx pose. You want to press the pubic bone down to the mat and press the tops of the feet down to the mat. On your inhale breath, we're going to lift our chest off of the mat using the strength of our back. I want little to no weight in the palms here. Take an inhale breath, and exhale out. One more inhale, and then exhale. Release your forehead down to the mat. Tuck your back toes, either come into tabletop pose and then downward facing dog, or we're pressing right up into that push-up and then downward facing dog from there. So that is one sun salutation. So you have a couple different options with that one, and you can always skip those completely and just go straight back to downward dog when we move through those through class, just so you know. Inhale through the nose. And then as you exhale, walk, step, or hop towards the front of your mat. On the inhale breath, come up halfway. And then on the exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing. Arms come up overhead. And then exhale, hands come through prayer and center in front of your heart. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. And then exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, come up halfway. And then exhale, set your hands on the mat, step back into that high plank, lower the knees or stay high plank, shift your shoulders past your fingertips, lower halfway or all the way down. And tuck the back toes. Inhale, low cobra. Pull the chest through, lift the chest and shoulders off of the mat. And then exhale, release. Tuck the back toes under, either come through tabletop pose to downward facing dog, or press back up into high plank, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Inhaling through the nose, and breathing out. Breath in, and breath out. One more deep breath here through the nose. And exhale out the nose. Walk your feet towards the front of your mat. On the inhale breath, come up halfway. And then on the exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, come all the way up. And then exhale, hands come through prayer in front of your heart. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. And then exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands on the mat, step back into that plank, high plank pose. Either lower the knees or stay here. Shift forward, lower halfway or all the way down. Inhale, low cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Breathe in through the nose. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Last breath, breathe in through the nose. And then as you exhale, walk your feet to the front of your mat. On the inhale breath, we come up into that halfway lift. And on the exhale, we fold. And then one last time, let's take our feet hips width distance apart. Bend generously into the knees and grab opposite elbows for that ragdoll forward fold. The knees sway side to side. Taking inhales through the nose and exhales out. Slowly start to rise, halfway lift. And then exhale, this time we're coming all the way up. Hands come overhead. And then exhale through prayer in front of your heart. Okay, so we're going to move through a few standing sequences here. So on the inhale breath, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. And then on the exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into that high plank pose. Stay here or lower the knees. Lower halfway or all the way down. Inhale, low cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. On the inhale breath, reach your right leg up towards the sky. Bend your knee and then open up that knee to the side of the room so that your hip is open. And then take your heel towards your glute. Try to keep your shoulders as square as possible here. So rather than opening up that right shoulder, drop the right shoulder so that it's in line with the left. Take an inhale breath. And exhale, we're going to step our right foot forward to our right thumb, and we're coming into a low lunge. And then have your strap nearby. So grab whatever you're using for a strap. It could be a towel or a blanket. We want our strap nearby. And then we're rising into high lunge. And our arms come up overhead. So we're here. And then take your left elbow with your right hand, and then see if you can tap your left arm on your upper back. So we're sort of taking this tricep stretch here. When we're here to start, we're just pulling our elbow and guiding our left hand down our back even further in this high lunge. And then we're just staying here. So check in with your high lunge. We want our right knee tracking right over the ankle. We want our back knee bent enough that we can push or pull our take our tailbone down towards the earth and pull the frontal hip bones up towards our shoulders. So rather than tipping our pelvis forward like this, bend into the back knee so that you can take your pelvis into a neutral position. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out. Deep breath in through the nose. And then exhale, release that elbow. And then we're taking our arms overhead and then planting them on the mat. Go ahead and lower the back knee. And then grab that strap, whatever you have nearby. Place the left palm on the mat, release the back toes. Place the left palm on the mat and then reach your right arm up towards the ceiling for a twist. So your shoulders should be facing the right side of the room. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out. Okay, so here's where you're grabbing that strap. You're gonna loop the strap or the towel around your foot. So you might need to back out of this to do that. And come into this is a little bit hard for this way. The other thing that you might want to do is have a blanket underneath your knees. So I'm going to do that here. I'm going to have this blanket here so that it's a little bit softer on the knee. So we're hooking our left foot with a strap or a towel. And you just want to make sure that you can grab both ends of the strap. So again, our left palm is down, and then our left knee is down as well. And then start to bend into that foot and grab the strap with your right hand and start to pull your foot towards your glute. So this is a quad stretch. Sorry, I'm trying to get this right here. Start to pull that glute towards, or pull your foot towards your glute, excuse me. You may need to walk your foot out, your front foot out a little bit farther into the mat so that, or towards the front of your mat so that your right knee is in line with your ankle. And then again, we're in that twist, but we have that strap and we're just pulling our foot and at the same time pressing our foot against the strap. So we're creating that opposite resistance. And this should feel pretty good in the quad or pretty, like intense. And then make sure when you're on that back knee, make sure you're more on the tops of the quad rather than right on your kneecap. So rather than being like up here, seeing if you can shift more forward onto the quad. Take one more deep breath here. And then just start to release that strap. And then we're gonna come into tabletop pose. So we're in tabletop, and then I want you to grab, sorry, I'm just reading my notes. Stay here for a moment. Start to take that right leg back behind you and your left arm forward. Actually, I'm sorry, do the opposite. Take the left leg back and then the right arm forward. So we're coming into this opposite leg and arm extension. Pull the low belly in, draw the ribs together, flex the back foot so that your heel is reaching towards the back of the mat, and then lift the leg through the inner thigh. Take an inhale breath here, and then release. Back to tabletop. This time we're coming onto our knees. So grab a pillow, and you're going to place it, and I'm using a yoga block because This is the prop I'm going to use. I'm going to place it in between my thighs. I'm going to grab another pillow. And then we're going to hold the block in between our hands overhead. So squeeze the pillow that's in between your thighs right now. Take your tailbone down towards your heels and pull your frontal hip bones up towards your shoulders. Take your shoulders down your back. Soften your shoulders so that you're not like up into your ears here. We want soft shoulders and take the shoulder blades down the back. And then our hands want to be sort of on opposite sides of the pillow, just our palms facing. And rather than trying to grip it, I want you to see if you can keep your hands straight. So we're reaching up. We're reaching our arms as high as we can while keeping the shoulder blades down the back. And try to work so that you can get those arms back, like as far back as you can, while keeping those shoulders together. And I don't want any like flaring of the ribs. Just pull everything together. Pull the ribs together. Maybe squeeze the glutes. Continue to squeeze the block or the pillow with your thighs. Take an inhale breath, and then exhale. Inhale. Maybe you start to look up, and exhale out. Inhale through the nose, squeeze the pillows, and exhale out. And then release. Remove any of those props out of the way. We're tucking the back toes under, lifting our hips, and pressing into downward facing dog. So keep everything nearby. We're coming into the other side. So you haven't noticed, we're using a lot of props today. So you can inhale breath through the nose, and exhale out. Inhale through the nose, and exhale. Inhale, lift your left leg up towards the sky, bend your knee, and then open up that knee up towards the ceiling, to the side of the room, and then start to see if you can take that your heel towards your glute. Square off your shoulders so that your left shoulder is in line with your right. Take an inhale breath here, and then as you exhale, step that left foot forward into, we're just going to do a low lunge this time. It actually makes a lot more sense for this flow. So drop your back knee down onto the mat, and we're coming into a low lunge with your arms overhead. Take an inhale breath, and then exhale, bend the right elbow and place that right, we're placing the right arm or the right palm on the back of our neck, and then grab the elbow with your left hand and just guide that hand farther down your back. So we're coming into that tricep stretch here. Take an inhale breath, and exhale out. Take the tailbone down towards your mat, pull the frontal hip bones forward and up. Inhale through the nose, and exhale out. One more breath, inhale through the nose. And then exhale, release. We're coming into that twist on the other side, so have your strap nearby. And then place the right palm on the mat, and the left arm comes up towards the ceiling. Inhale through the nose, and exhale out. And then we're going to grab our strap, start to bend into that the right knee, and see if you can hook the strap or the towel around your foot. And then again, we're finding that twist. You just want to pull your foot into the strap, or pull the strap, excuse me, while you push your foot into the strap, so that equal opposite resistance. And then see if you can come onto that rather than on your kneecap, see if you can shift forward and come more onto your quad in this stretch. Inhale through the nose, and exhale out. Inhale through the nose, and exhale out. Release the strap, release the foot out of the way. And then we're coming on to tabletop pose. So take that left knee back to meet the right. Start to reach your right leg back towards the room, and then reach your left arm forward. So we're in that Opposite arm, opposite leg extension. Flex into that right foot. Take the heel back as far as you can. Lift through the inner thigh of the back leg and reach your arm forward like someone's shaking your hand out in front of you. Pull the low belly in, draw the wrists together. And then see if you can take that right hip so that it's in line with the left. Take one more deep breath here. And then exhale, release. And then we're coming back onto our knees. We're finding, we're grabbing those two pillows, placing one in between our thighs and one in our hands. Reach our arms up towards the ceiling. Squeeze both of those pillows, squeeze both of your thighs and your hands together. Take the tailbone down towards the mat. Pull your ribs in. Pull your low belly towards your spine. Soften at the shoulders. Take the shoulder blades down the back and reach up as high as you can. And see how much you can work those arms back, right? So that's sort of like the motion that we want to get, but we're not really, we're using the block or the pillows sort of to like keep our, it's like, how do I describe it? Accountability. So really pull the low belly in here. I don't want any of this. So pull everything in as tight as you possibly can while you reach up. Take one more breath here. And then exhale, release. Move the props out of the way. And then we're coming into downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose. And exhale out. Inhale through the nose. And exhale out. Inhale, reach your right leg to the ceiling. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Keep that leg, the shoulders square. Take an inhale breath. And then exhale, step it through to that low lunge. Drop the left knee back down. And then grab your strap this time. So we're in a low lunge, and notice that I'm not like forward like this. I have my hip right over my knee because that allows me to keep my pelvis neutral rather than having a tilt. If I'm tilted forward, I can pull my pelvis forward so that I feel a nice stretch in the quad and the and the hip flexor. So we're going to have the strap nearby. We're going to do the same thing with our arms, where we guide our left palm down our back with our elbow, but this time take a strap in that arm or in the left hand or a towel. Guide that elbow down. I'm going to face you so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And then take your right hand to your side, flip the palm so that the tops of your the palms are facing backwards, and then start to bend into the elbow and see if you can reach around and grab the strap. So that looks like this. And you can slowly start to inch your hand up the strap if you like. And then a lot of times when we're in this, our ribs will start to flare out. See if you can pull, you might have to tuck your chin into your chest to start, but pull your ribs together and pull your low belly in. Maybe you walk that the left hand down a little bit further down the strap. Maybe you can take your head straight out in front of you rather than tucking your chin into your chest. Take an inhale breath here. And then exhale, release. We're coming onto tabletop position, and we're going to keep that strap nearby. On the inhale breath, reach your right leg or your left leg back and your right arm forward. Opposite arm and leg extension. Pull the low belly in, draw the ribs together. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. Start to bend that left knee and take it to your glute. Option here, this is a total option, you do not have to do this, to reach around with your right arm or your right hand and grab the back foot. That's an option. You do not have to do that. You could stay here. But continue to pull the low belly in and draw the heel towards the glute. If you'd like to go here, press simultaneously into your hand with your foot and then your foot with your hand. So we're creating that opposite resistance. Inhale through the nose and then exhale, release. And tabletop. We're coming onto our knees, grabbing our props, placing one between our thighs, squeezing into the thighs, and then our arms come up overhead. So again, we want to find as straight of a spine as possible here. So I don't want any of this, pull everything together. Our tailbone comes down towards our heels, our frontal hip bones are coming towards our shoulders, low belly is pulled in, and our ribs are pulled together. Shoulder blades are down the back. Chin is in line with your spine. Maybe you start to look up this time. And really reach as high as you can. And like somebody has a string attached to your sternum, and like somebody's pulling your chest up towards the ceiling, just start to lift your chest up towards the sky. Inhale through the nose, and exhale out. Again, we want to pull our belly together or in and our ribs together. Inhale through the nose, and then exhale, start to release. Remove all those props out of the way. Oh, we missed something, didn't we? Okay, so you're going to step your left foot forward. Wait. Yeah, left foot forward. And then you're going to take the strap and start to bend into that right knee and loop the strap around your foot. We're coming into that quad stretch again. I can't forget this one. So inhaling through the nose and exhaling out. Inhaling through the nose. So again, our right palm is down, our left arm is forward, or our left foot is forward. We're holding on to the strap with our left hand, hooking it on our right foot. Inhaling through the nose, and then exhaling, release. And then come back into tabletop, tuck the back toes under, lift the hips, press back into downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose, and exhale out. Inhale through the nose, and exhale out. One more breath here. Inhale through the nose, and exhale. Inhale, reach your left leg towards the ceiling, bend the knee and open up the hip. Take your heel towards your glute. Square off the shoulders. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, step forward into that low lunge. Your left knee comes forward. So we'll do that quad stretch at the end again, but we'll flip it on the other side because I realized that I did the wrong one forward. So we're going to come into that low lunge position. Again, my hip is right over my back knee. My front knee is right over my ankle. Have the strap or the towel nearby. And then we're going to start to take the strap into your right hand. And then take it behind you, and then using your left hand guide on your right elbow, guide your elbow towards the center of the mat, and then your arm down to the bottom of your back. Excuse me, I'm having a really hard time this morning. And then take face this way. Start to take your left arm out towards the side, flip the hand, and then start to bend the elbow and find the strap. So it should look like this. So I'm going to left leg forward. And then see if you can walk your left hand up a little farther up the strap or the towel, and your right arm down. And so you can kind of see here that I'm like flaring my ribs and I'm arching the back. I'm going to pull everything up, pull the low belly in and pull the ribs together. Take my tailbone down towards the mat and take my hip bones up towards my shoulders. Seeing if you can level your head, your chin may be tucked here, and that's totally okay. Seeing if you can maybe level the head so that your ear is in line with your arm. Take an inhale breath and exhale out. Inhale through the nose and then exhale, release. We're coming into tabletop pose. And then this time our right leg goes back. Yeah. And our left arm goes forward. Pull the low belly in, draw the ribs together. Take an inhale breath. And exhale. Inhale through the nose. And then exhale, starting to bend that right knee. Option, if you like, if you want to reach around with that left palm and grab the back foot, the top of the back foot. So that's totally up to you here. Inhale through the nose, press into the hand with your foot, and pull your foot with your hand. And exhale out. Inhale through the nose, and then exhale out. One more breath, inhale, and then exhale, release. We're coming back in the tabletop position. We're grabbing our props, placing one between our thighs and one in our arms. Find a long, straight spine. Set it up here before you even take your arms up. Pull the low belly in, draw the ribs together. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling. The shoulders come down. And then see if you can take the chest up towards the ceiling. Feel like somebody has a string attached to your sternum. Without dipping in the low back, see how high you can lift your chest. Take an inhale breath. And exhale out. Squeeze the pillows with your thighs. Squeeze the pillows with your hands. Take an inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And then exhale, release. So this time we are taking our right leg forward. And then taking that left knee back a little bit further. Grab your strap. And then hook it around your foot. And then we're opening up into that twist with the quad stretch. So place the left palm onto the mat. And then pull your quad with the strap towards, or pull your foot, your heel towards your glute using the strap. I'm struggling this morning. I'm so sorry. Pretty tired. Take an inhale through the nose and exhale out. One more breath. Inhale through the nose and then exhale, release. We're coming back into tabletop position. And then we're going to go for full camel. So camel pose, I want you to have your block in between your thighs. And so no block in our arms this time. So reach your arms up towards the ceiling without the block. Then start to reach your chest up. Push your hips forward and squeeze your glutes. Pull your low belly in. And like, again, somebody has that string attached to your sternum. Lift your chest up towards the ceiling, but I want you to squeeze the block as much as you can. If you would like to go from, like, add on from here, maybe you start to, or take your actually, yeah, we're gonna all do this. So take your hands on your low back with your palm, with your fingertips facing up. And so you should have your hands like this. So we're gonna roll, or open up broaden the collarbones and roll the shoulders open and take the shoulder blades together. Keep squeezing the pillow, keep squeezing your glutes, keep taking your chest up towards the ceiling. So this is level 1 here, we're just here. And then level 2, maybe you start to tip back and reach for the heels. So you can stay here or here. Take deep breaths through the nose, keep lifting through the chest, keep lifting or squeezing the pillows, squeezing your glutes, pressing into the tops of the feet, pressing into the shins. Take one more inhale breath here. And then exhale, release, slowly start to rise back up. Remove the blocks out of the way. Move any props out of the way. Sit back onto your heels. Take your knees wide and walk into child's pose. Rest your forehead on the mat. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out. Inhale through the nose and out. In through the nose and out. When we come up to seated, and then just take your hips off to the side and swing your legs around so that they're in front of you. You may want to have that blanket nearby. So I would actually fold up the blanket so that it kind of looks like this and place it almost to the back of my mat. And then I'm going to sit on the blanket. So you might want to do this just to lift your, like guide your pelvis so that it's tilted forward even more instead of being like this. So this allows you to sit up a little bit straighter in this fold or in this position. Reach your arms up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, leading with your chest, keeping your spine as long and straight as possible, start to reach forward. You can bend into the knees and then grab whatever you can. So it could be your shins, it could be the backs of your knees, it could be your ankles, it could be your feet. Just grab whatever you can and come into this passive fold. So you can just relax in this, like rather than like trying to keep your spine straight, just relax into this so that maybe your spine is curling a little bit. And I have my knees bent so much that my rib cage is resting on the tops of my thighs. And then just let your head hang heavy. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out. One more breath here. And then slowly start to rise back up into that seated position. We're going to take the soles of our feet together with our knees open wide. Grab your ankles and pull your heels in towards the groin. And then start to pull your chest through your shoulders by pulling your ankles, like using your ankles, using your hands to your ankles, pull your chest through your shoulders so you have a long, straight spine. So I'm here and then I'm pulling my chest through, really gripping onto my ankles here, and then start to fold forward. You may get here, you may get all the way down. That's totally your practice, wherever you are at. We've been doing a lot of internal rotation and neutral spine, so it's time to counteract that with some external rotation of the hips. Take an inhale breath and an exhale out. Inhale through the nose and then exhale out, release. We're going to come all the way down onto our backs. So remove any props that you have. And then we're going to come all the way down with the soles of our feet on the mat to start. Draw your knees into your chest. And then start to rock side to side. Maybe you make circles with the knees to massage the low back. And then take your arms wide like a T. And two options here. You can keep your knees straight how they are and drop them to the side. Or if you want something a little bit deeper, cross your right leg over your left and drop your knees over to the left. So either knees are straight like this and you drop them to the left, or cross the right knee over the left and drop it over. If you find that your left or your right shoulder is lifting off of the mat when you do this, place a pillow underneath your knees. So your arms are open out wide like a T or like a goalpost. And exhale out. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. Inhale breath. And exhale breath. Keep breathing here. Take one more breath here. And then as you exhale, draw your knees back into your chest. Keep your knees together, or release if you have that cross, release the cross. And then if you want that cross again on the other side, we're crossing our left knee over the right. Drop your knees over to the right. And again, if you find that your left shoulder is coming off of the mat, place a pillow underneath your knees. Take an inhale and exhale out. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. And seeing how much you can expand in the belly, how much space that you can create just by breathing in this posture. One more breath here. And then as you exhale, take your knees up towards your chest, into the center. Wrap your arms around your shins. Give yourself a nice little squeeze. And then as you exhale, release into your final resting pose. So straighten out the legs. Let the outer edges of the feet roll down towards the mat. Press into the top of your head to lift your shoulder blades off of the mat and tuck them underneath you. Your arms are at your sides with your palms facing out. And then press into the backs of your feet so that you can lift your tailbone off of the ground and tuck it underneath you. So you're more on the sacrum. And then go ahead and do just a quick body scan and notice if there's anything in the body that you're holding on tension. You're tensing up, maybe you're gripping something. Maybe it's in your feet, maybe it's in your hips and your shoulders. Just fully relax those, whatever is tense there. We want completely relaxed body. Flutter the eyes closed. The mouth is slightly parted, the lips are slightly parted. And your tongue is removed from the roof of your mouth. Your jaw is not clenched. And your brow is relaxed. No crease in the forehead. Enjoy all of the benefits of the practice that we just did today, and thank yourself for showing up and taking this time out of your day to take care of yourself. I encourage you to stay here as long as you need, up to 5 minutes if possible. And let go of any breath control that you have so that you're just breathing naturally.
Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice. Please stay here as long as you need. Thank you.